Who's a good Cthulhu? Yes, you are a good Cthulhu. Hey everyone, it's just me, my little cryptkin Cthulhu. These things are super adorable. I love these. So yes, those of you who aren't aware, this is Cryptic Crunch. I am Willow Skylor, your host, and I'm dedicating the show to the one god that I trust the most, Cthulhu. All right, so these I love this thing. Like I want a big poster of this. So Kripkins Unleashed. Yes, I bought it for $20. Guys, if there's any way that I can get Kripkins to, sponsor the show, please. Like I love all these figurines. I want them all. If there's like Pokemon of cryptids, this is it. Like, look at these. Look how adorable they are. All right, so enough chatting about Cthulhu for now. We'll get to that in a moment. Keisha's gonna be chiming in the comments, so I apologize. Her computer's down for the count. This is what happens when you dedicate something like a convention or a show to Cthulhu. Things tend to go a little wonky. I'll get to that in a moment. I have to bring up Johnny.
Hey there, friends and foes. How are you tonight, Willow?
Oh, fantastic. It was like a photo finish race to get home from work and to come here. So
I am really hoping that Eli Cash comments in the comments tonight, because he will he's a Cthulhu expert. And yeah, and he will be a great commenter in the comments.
Okay, excellent.
And yes, and so we got the Serial Connection is watching, and he's asking what's up, because for those of you who don't know, Cryptid Crunch is our spin-off show of Back of the Cereal Box, and on Back of the Cereal Box we eat cereal live on air, and we talk about the Saturday experience, cartoons, kaiju, and kung fu movies. And I'm wondering, Willow, I've got this box of 9-year-old Funkos, the Cuphead and Mugman cereal. And I'm debating whether I should do a live taste test of the Cuphead and Mugman cereal. I can already feel in the box, it's kind of almost solid. So I'm thinking that it's well past its expiration date, but I'm also feeling like it needs to be opened and tried. Now,
the Serial Connection says, do it!
Of course they do. Now, do you remember, Willow, were you on the show when I did the Cuphead Don't Deal with the Devil cereal?
I don't think so, but that kind of reminds me of the Oreo ones that I tried. That was
no. No. These are made with charcoal, and it tastes like it. It turned my tongue black, and it made me like instantly nauseous. Instantly. That's why I've been hesitant about the Funko and Mugman, but there is a toy inside, a mini pop, and
I feel like this is something that we could get your kids to try, you know.
No, they do not play along with my shenanigans and foolishness.
Oh, no.
So, hey, I was right. So Eli Cash is watching and he is commenting. And
Excellent.
and what does he say? Really? I'm just a weirdo that knows weird things. Well, this is true, Eli, but he is one of the, in my mind, he is one of the leading experts on Cthulhu and the Elder Gods created by HP Lovecraft. And so he's going to have a lot to say. Um, and he asked right after that, was that the cereal you bought from the one convention me and you went to? Yes. So I bought those at the Columbia Comic and Toy Show in Columbia, Tennessee, and they actually had a box of Cthulhuos. They did a Cthulhu cereal from Funko, but it was like these were $5 a piece. The Cthulhuos were like $20, and I just couldn't justify spending $20 for 8 or 9-year-old cereal. Call me crazy.
You know, I have a feeling that somewhere in this U.S. there's like an abandoned storage unit of just cereal waiting to be opened.
Listen, I would do it. I've on the show we've tried some weird stuff. I did the Packy one chip challenge, and it was painful. It was maybe the worst thing that I've ever endured. The Cuphead Funkos, they made me instantly ill. The magic Fruity Pebbles that turns the milk purple, that wrecked me. That was not good. Yeah, I do not recommend that for anybody.
Well, it's funny because you remember that commercial where it's like, "Hey, give it to Mikey; he'll eat anything." That was me in my foster home. I was like the human garburator. I'm willing to try anything really. Like I've tried a couple new cereals that I've seen. The Tim Hortons cereal, I'm not it doesn't have enough flavor, much like their coffee.
Well, but everybody else that I talk to raves about that. So I want to get it and try it. Here in the States, the Dunkin' apparently is the exact same cereal as the Tim Hortons. So Carl Witzman says something pretty funny about cereal in that storage unit. The cereal that the mice haven't eaten yet. And if not, then what is so bad that mice won't eat it? Funko cereal, perhaps. And the cereal connection does say that the Dunkin' cereal is great.
Okay.
And that noise you heard behind me are the dogs having a little tiff.
Oh.
Yeah, for everyone who's watching and wondering, we got a new dog last week, and she is about 4 times bigger than the dog that we've had for the last 4 years. He's a Chihuahua. She is a hound, maybe pit bull mix.
Oh, okay.
She's mid-size, but she's built like a brick tank and heavy. And so they've been fighting over toys.
Oh.
And he's been a little bit jealous, and she's starting to snip back at him. And so if I vanish mysteriously, it's because we've got an emergency situation.
Yeah. Well, I know what it's like to introduce pets to each other, so I understand. It can get pretty wild.
So I'm sure people who have never seen the show before, Willow, are wondering, what in the world are we doing tonight? What is Cryptid Crunch?
Cryptid Crunch, I like it. The way I introduce it to people is it's more of a tongue-in-cheek look into the world of cryptids, monsters, myths, and
Yep, she just got sent in here to Daddy.
Okay, I have to big screen this. Aw.
Can you? Yeah, you can just barely see. Come here, Reagan. Reagan. She's not happy to be in here, and apparently the rest of the family doesn't care that I'm doing a broadcast because they just sent her in here.
Hey,
so,
animals are always animals and kids are always welcome to photobomb the show.
Hey, Reagan, come here, baby, come here.
Oh, she's adorable.
Look at look there,
sweetie.
It's you. She's got a big smile on her face. So whatever she did, she's proud of herself. Hey,
she's sticking up for herself. That's why.
She's only a year old, but
she's gonna be big.
Well, no, she's full grown.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah, but you see that big smile on her face?
Mm-hmm.
She's got smile lines. I've never seen that on a dog before. So she's stout and she's sweet as can be. She doesn't know how big she is. So she's just going to hang out in here with us tonight. Because apparently she and Jax can't get along.
It'll take some time. It may take more than a month for them to get along. But
so they were getting along just fine until this morning when we got her a new rawhide chew bone, and it's as big as the other dog. So he can't even pick it up, but she got protective of it. And if he even came near her while she had it, she's like,
it could also be how she was brought up, wherever she was. Probably she didn't get enough toys, or
she's been in and out of the shelter 3 times. We're the third owners, so
be patient with her, please.
She's a sweetheart. She loves us. She's just having a rough time adjusting to the king of the castle.
And I understand. I mean, you're a dog owner, so I'm sure you know what you're doing. So
yeah, I've had dogs all my life. So.
Yeah. See, I'm a cat person, so we kind of balance each other out. That's great.
Yeah, and I've had cats too. I love cats. And Eli Cash just posted she's digging the place. I can tell. Yeah, she is. She's been very happy, very content. She's scared to death of storms though.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen our little dog doesn't care. He's like, huh. She literally jumped up into the wardrobe. We have a freestanding wardrobe where we keep the blankets and pillows for the bed.
Yeah.
She jumped up into it and would not come out during the storm. It was hysterical.
Sounds like a very comfortable place for her. Maybe see if you can get her a thunder jacket, or it's kind of like a weighted blanket for dogs.
Oh, well, we're getting a crate tomorrow.
Okay.
Because she was in a crate at the shelter, and so, because when we're gone, we've discovered she pretty much tears the house apart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
So if anybody has any questions about pets, I'm sure me and Johnny can answer them.
She's not a cryptid. She's real. But we're talking Cthulhu. Or as I've been told by George Norrie, who hosts Coast to Coast AM, that it's actually pronounced Cthulhu.
Oh, you actually pronounce it with the H. Interesting. Yeah. I thought that was a silent H.
I did too for years. But according to the people who actually knew HP Lovecraft, he always pronounced it Cthulhu.
Interesting. Huh. And here we've been saying it wrong all these years.
Everybody has. Everybody has.
You think that would have been kind of put into the book?
So I don't have I actually have the collected edition of HP Lovecraft stories, all of the Cthulhu stories, and I don't have it here in the office. I'm not sure where it went to, but when did he publish? I think the first book was Call of Cthulhu. Am I right? Someone tell us in the chat. And Dan Holyfield says, I will continue to say and spell it incorrectly.
February 1928.
28. Okay, so 1928. He publishes Call of Cthulhu. And how many books were there? I want to say there were maybe 6 or 8. I would look it up, but I'm on my phone, so I'm a little bit handicapped tonight.
I'm looking.
He was one of the early 20th century science fiction authors, along with Edgar Rice Burroughs. They basically, H.P. Lovecraft took what Mary Shelley created with Frankenstein and what Edgar Allan Poe did with the American short story and elevated it to a new art of modern horror. And I would consider H.P. Lovecraft the father of modern horror, like Edgar Rice Burroughs is the father of modern science fiction.
It looks like there's 6.
That's what I thought, 6. So since 1928, not only has Cthulhu become a pop culture icon, but now there are people who believe that Cthulhu and the other elder gods are really a part of ancient mythology and that have been around for centuries. And there are actual now real deal cults that worship Cthulhu as an actual entity. That's pretty remarkable. In 90 years?
And it's huge in the steampunk world too. Like my steampunk group that is hosted, we usually do a steampunk tea in the summertime. We have an idol that we donate money to. Which is a Cthulhu statue.
Which is funny to me because, I hosted the Diesel Punk podcast for 10 years. And Diesel Punk is my genre. 1920s through 1957. And the Cthulhu mythos was created in 1928. It proliferated, is that a word? Proliferated through the 30s and 40s. And it really is not from the steampunk era. It's not part of the Victorian era literature. So I always found it interesting that, steampunks adopted the Lovecraftian lore the way they did when it was actually later in the 20th century, Diesel era or Deco era, as I call it.
Well, maybe it's just our group in particular that.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing in steampunk circles. Yes, absolutely, it is.
But it's hilarious because our steampunk group is actually it's a tongue-in-cheek thing as well. Just want to make sure that society. The Society for the Ethical Treatment of Kraken is what it's called.
That's funny.
When my friend created it, we did a photo shoot at the Dellenvert Museum here in Winnipeg, and it's a Victorian old English house that was owned by the son of our first prime minister. Lots of history there. But anyway, so we did, and we actually had signs, kind of like protest signs that says "Free the Kraken," and
Well, and so that's interesting in and of itself, right? So the Kraken does date back to, classical mythology, Greek and Roman mythology. I'm sure it appears in Chinese and Japanese mythology. And I would dare say that HP Lovecraft was probably inspired by that mythos, because the image that we have of Cthulhu is of the tentacled, uh, you know, creature. Yeah. And I loaded an image actually of the comic series that I'm publishing, League of Impossibilists, and that character in the background is not Cthulhu, but he is a follower of Cthulhu, the supreme cultist. And the Cthulhu mythos is a central part of the League of Impossibilists, and the series that Eli Cash is creating as part of Serial Box Comics, Wenches and Wormholes. So we have built an entire universe in the Decoverse around Cthulhu. He is the main antagonist in my book, One Night at the Roxy.
Oh, okay.
The whole plot revolves around him returning. And so anyway, I've always been fascinated by the character, and luckily for creatives, he's in the public domain, because HP Lovecraft never thought to copyright his work.
And a lot of those writers never thought of it either. Which is actually kind of sad. Well, I mean, it's good for us where we can create like all these worlds around the idea of Cthulhu, and just kind of carry on his tradition for storytelling. It's become a video game. Like the fact that his creations are actually spanning 2 different generations now, is fantastic.
You mentioned video games, and behind me I've got 3 Cthulhu themed games. This one is called The Doom That Came to Atlantic City. Now, this was published by Cryptozoic, and it was actually published. It's a long, sordid history. It was a big Kickstarter campaign, and the original guys who launched the Kickstarter raised all the money for it, took the money and ran. They ran. And wow. Cryptozoic came in and they bought basically everything from the Kickstarter campaign and honored it and created the game. And basically it's Monopoly after the fact. So imagine you've just played a game of Monopoly, and the elder gods, Cthulhu and his brothers and sisters, come on shore and destroy Atlantic City. And it's got these beautiful pewter minifigs in it. Here, I'm going to pull one out, because these are just gorgeous. And, I can't get anyone to play this with me. That's the sad part. And it's got this beautiful artwork by Kyle Baker, who was a great comic book creator. This is the Cthulhu minifig. Actually, this cool. Yeah, these are not pewter. Actually, no, I take that back. These are plastic. But the original Kickstarter campaign, it was pewter. And so they're all beautiful. They're all great. And I'm big into board games, and because I'm kind of, I'm a diesel punk at heart, and into the Cthulhu mythos, I had to have it. Along with, I've got a bunch of Cthulhu themed games. I've got Cthulhu Gloom. I've got the Lovecraft Letter.
Oh.
This is the game Love Letter, but played with a Lovecraft theme. And The box looks like a book, which
It's
I love.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool, and some gorgeous artwork, and
Are board games popular in your where you're where you live? Like, do people actually?
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, we have board game groups that
okay.
get together and you know have and weekly.
Oh
And
wow.
then this last one is Tower of Madness. And did you ever play Kerplunk when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Well, this is reverse Kerplunk.
Okay.
Because you remember in Kerplunk, the object was not to make all of the marbles fall. But in this one, the object is. And so you have this tower that has these tentacles, and the tentacles are actually sticks. And
Oh, interesting.
as you remove them from the tower, different marbles fall, and you're trying to get certain marbles and prevent going mad.
Huh.
So the fun game, but it's completely unplayable according to the rules. So we had to
make up your own.
Yeah, yeah, to make it playable. But those are just a few of the Cthulhu themed board games I have. I have others, like I've got the Cthulhu set for King of Tokyo, which is my favorite board game right now. I've got the Cthulhu Gloom and something else. Anyway.
So I'm not sure who this is, but Stuart Gordon's Dagon is my favorite Lovecraft film. The cast, the settings, the music, the weather, the village, special effects is far from perfect, but it's a solid 7 out of 10 recommendation, but 8 out of 10 personal rating. Cthulhu is referenced and glimpsed, but not fully seen.
So I've not heard of that movie. I'm going to have to put that on my list. You know, that is one of the things that is interesting about Cthulhu is there's a lot of literature, there are comics, there's board games, video games, a lot of pop culture media, but there haven't been a lot of really good movies. Now, there's supposed to be one coming out, and it's been teased for the last year or two. I want to say Del Toro is doing it. What is that called? And I can't remember anything about it. And then on HBO Max though was Lovecraft Country, and that was a remarkable show to watch. I never really understood it, but it was gorgeous. It was compelling, and based on a book, you know, called Lovecraft Country that deals with Lovecraft's rampant racism. He was a flaming racist, and so
Oh man.
yeah.
Sorry, I was reading some of the comments. I apologize.
No, you're good.
So Eli referencing the game that you showed, Don't Lose Your Marbles. And then he commented about the movie. It's mostly indie movie, At the Mountains of Madness. I noticed. I know that there is a Call of Cthulhu movie that came out in 2005. I have not seen it.
I don't think anyone has. I've never seen it.
I think you can actually find it on YouTube.
Probably.
But yeah, no, like Cthulhu is comics, movies, books, obviously, but anything like anything art wise. What have you seen anything art wise that you really like?
Well, my own art, but
yeah.
I think I have some prints of some Lovecraftian stuff. I'll tell you what, Eli Cash, who's commenting, his Wenches and Wormholes series that deals with the brother, Hastur, who is the brother of Cthulhu, is really phenomenal. His artwork is gorgeous to look at. It's absolutely bonkers. And if anyone wants to see it, you can actually see it at patreon.com/impossibilists. And we're publishing it, as he finishes the various pages. And we'll eventually put it in print.
I'd love to see it. Like I'll try to bring up some of his art in a moment. Carl actually said that there was a movie, I saw part of it, about Lovecraft himself, and postulated that he was going mad. Seems like a theme about the writers from that time period. It seems like they had kind of like a bit of a mental illness.
Mercury poisoning.
Maybe.
Yeah, there was a lot of mercury in the water, and a lot of the writers were, drug users, and so anyway, you combine those and then just the creative mind with all of the voices talking to you in your head. It's a volatile mix, but something you just made me think of. Oh, there was another comic series called Herald, Herald, where Nikola Tesla and HP Lovecraft teamed up.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was really cool. I think that was from Aftershock Comics.
Okay.
Or maybe Action Lab Comics is who it was. Action Lab Comics. And that was an interesting book. It's available in trade paperback as well. And so if you're a fan of Tesla and Lovecraft, you can see them working together in that story. Dun, dun, dun.
Eli just sent me a snippet of his art, so I'll save that and put it up right away.
Yeah, I've got it saved on the phone, but it's kind of hard to bring it up when we're live. Yeah, Eli has a really cool style that I would describe as, one part Matt Groening, one part Wally Wood, one part bonkers. And Eli knows that's a huge compliment.
I love it, actually. It kind of has like a... I don't mean to insult if this is an if you take this as an insult, but it kind of reminds me Castlevania kind of thing going.
The video game Castlevania, yeah, definitely. I can totally see that.
I apologize. I will see if I can get it.
And Eli just said, "I love Castlevania."
Okay, because that's what threw him into my mind as soon as I saw the image. So
either there's a lot of activity happening in my house above my head, or I've got ghosts dancing upstairs.
Your dogs are
well,
are they fighting again, or
no, Reagan is right over here. She wants to get out. She knows she's being punished, but why is it a punishment to be with Dad? Come here, baby girl. Come here, Reagan. Now she's just staring into a corner where there is nothing.
Oh.
I don't like that at all.
Oh, no. I swear it's not me.
Maybe we're talking about the elder gods, Johnny, says Eli T. Cash. They might be having a battle in the heavens above my head.
A lot of weird stuff tends to happen. Sorry, Keisha, for not for I know she was commenting earlier, but yeah, my internet is awful tonight, so I will be in and out of the comments. But yeah, so when you invoke the name of Cthulhu, it tends to mess with things. That is me dressed up as the Cthulhu Queen when we had when our sci-fi convention had the Cthulhu and Doctor Who themed convention. A lot of weird stuff happened at that convention, mainly water related. The hot tub decided to fail on the hotel and started leaking right into the lobby.
So I gotta ask this question though.
What's up?
Who really wants to use a convention hot tub? Do you really want to go to a Comic-Con or a Sci-Fi Con and use the hot tub? I mean, let's get real for a minute. No. I'm not even a germaphobe, but I'm not going anywhere near that cesspool.
This particular hotel that we have our sci-fi convention at, it has had renovations for over the years. They used to have a pool, but sadly that also leaked. They got rid of it, and that's where the terrace is instead.
So I want to see a show of hands from our Treehouse viewers. How many of you are going to a comic or sci-fi pop culture con and getting in the hot tub?
No, I used to be a hot tub kind of person, but yeah, no. We used to have a place called Fun Mountain, and that place ruined hot tubs for me. Yeah.
Fun Mountain, singular? Because Fun Mountains would be a completely different innuendo.
That place is now defunct because the woman that owned it went a little crazy during COVID. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a huge thing. Google Fun Mountain Lady, everyone. I'm not getting into it. She should have been an SNL character. That's how bad it got.
That's awesome. So, Willow, were you able to upload Eli's image?
I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Yeah,
I apologize for it. He did give it to me, but it's saving as he didn't give it to me as a JPEG, so it's not going into StreamYard.
Yeah, so Eli, it has to be a JPEG or a PNG. Anyway, so while you're doing that, I'm going to show some of the images that I uploaded.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the newest images from the League of Impossibilists comic with the Supreme Cultist in the background there. And the League of Impossibilists are time-traveling paranormal heroes that protect the space-time continuation against the evil forces of Cthulhu and his hordes of evil. And this is another shot of the Supreme Cultist or Cultist Supreme.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that's actually one of the pages without the letters. And yeah, so lots of Cthulhu happening in our creative circles. Dun, dun, dun. Now, I got to ask, Willow, so we were talking at the beginning that in the last 80, 90 years since the character was created, there are people who actually believe him to be an actual deity. Are you one of those people?
See, I don't want to put a lot of, you know, energy into making this thing into, you know, bigger than what he should be. I don't know. Like, we joke about all these like weird happenstances that happen, and we like to blame it on Cthulhu. But I don't know. I can't say whether or not it. I don't know. I there's. I feel like it's like ghosts. Too much energy goes into believing that they exist, and I don't know. It's what people make of it. Like, if people want to believe in a god, then I guess, you know, by all means, believe. Feel free. I'm not. Who am I to tell people that it doesn't exist?
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. So Eli just said he sent you a PNG file. And Carl just posted that I should note that I was a licensed counselor, so I know nutty.
Huh.
Yeah, well, you live with Donna. So Donna Carleen is Carl's wife, and they are both certifiable. And I don't think Carl or Donna would argue that point. So what else? You guys in the audience, go ahead and continue to comment. Oh, Carl said the woman who owned Fun Mountain, she was nutty before the pandemic. So that's interesting. Is that something I'm going to have to look up on YouTube?
Well, I mean, okay, if you want if you want to go down that rabbit hole, by all means. Yeah.
I do. Oh, I do. And Carl agrees that he is not arguing, but he would still not go in the hot tub. And Donna Carleen says, "You're just jelly." A little bit. Yeah, I am. Listen, have you ever met Donna in real life, Willow?
No, but does the green room count?
No. You have not experienced anything until you have met Donna Carleen in person, in the flesh, baby. She is larger than life and then some. And I got to know, Carl, Donna, are you guys going to be at HalloCon again this year? Because I'm planning to be there, and I would love to connect with you guys once again. So the funniest thing happened. So Donna and Carl, I'll bet you that happens to you all the time, Carl. Donna and Carl were in the audience.
Oh, I think we may have lost Johnny.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Was that me? Am I back?
You kind of trailed off there for a moment.
I froze. So Carl says that they will be at HalloCon. So here's what happened. What happened was we were doing a live back of the cereal box at HalloCon with Joe McKeel and Brian K. Morris. Well, the whole idea was we were doing it in front of a live audience so that the live audience could comment live. And Donna and Carl are sitting right in front of me, eating the cereal that I brought, commenting on the show in the chat instead of live. And I'm just like, what is happening here? They're just that weird. But they're delightful people. You should really meet them if you can.
Weird people are my bread and butter. I love it. Eli, I apologize. I tried making that into something, but that's just a portion of his art. I love it. I love that art. I would totally buy a poster of it.
Well, you're going to be able to buy an entire book when we're done with this project. And super excited about it. He's gone back and he's adding color to the black and white pages and really making them pop. And he doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to have him do the colors on issue 2 of the League of Impossibilists comic as well. He did the letters on issue 1, so now he's going to be the letterer and the colorist.
I'm gonna Eli, send me a picture of the princess on here that you have, like a full body. I would love to see if I can, cosplay it. And Johnny froze again. Release your victims.
I keep getting bumped off the internet. So it's not just Keisha, it's Johnny too. Well, look, I'm not in the usual broadcast studio. In the usual broadcast studio, I am connected with an Ethernet cable. Tonight, because the broadcast studio is also the real family rec room where we watch movies on the big screen, they're all using it. So I can't be in there right now.
Uh-oh. So yeah, forget elder gods invoking the names of Donna and Carl cause strange things to happen. You know what? It also could be just me. My stupid mutant ability likes to mess with electronics, and apparently it's transferable across the internet. So yeah, yay me.
Lucky us.
Johnny has Keisha's internet connection.
So wait a minute. Wait. There's a comment from Kelly Gettner, Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, that says, "I'm so excited." What is she excited about? What did I miss?
Apparently, there's something happening next weekend.
Oh, SilCon, CIL-Con, Central Illinois Con. Kelly and Crayley are going to be there. I was initially supposed to be there, but I had to back out because it's Parents' Weekend at Austin P, where my daughter is a brand new freshman, and so I'm not able to go. But they are going to be there, and you should at least come out and see them.
Well, I'll try to catch you guys online if you guys do post up anything about it. Like, hey,
I think half the Rising Tide crew is going to be there.
Okay. Yeah, but they'll be busy with their own stuff. I know that Carl did post up saying something about the green room won't happen unless you're at Silicon. So So I don't know. It would be nice to have kind of like a no fan left behind kind of thing at Silicon. If you guys want to post something,
I really hope when I was frozen, you continue to just fill the gap.
I tried.
Because otherwise, there's going to be dead air, and everyone's going to be listening or watching later on, going, "What the heck is going on with this show?"
Yeah, half the Rising Tide crew will be at Helicon as well. So
yes,
you guys seem like you're evenly split between these conventions. So I have to live vicariously through you, you folks.
Well, you went to a convention just recently.
I went to a furry convention.
Yeah, so
I was their photographer. It was fun. I love being around the furries. Like I am one. So one of my good friends made me a fursuit, and hey, when you have money available through Starbucks, that is what I used it for. They give me stocks, and I had many years of stocks to use. And yes, I bought myself a computer, and I used a portion of it on my fursuit. Helen Monroe.
You know what, Kelly Gettner, Phoenix Sisters, you guys really need to do an episode of Cosplay Cafe about furries.
Hey, I'd be down for that.
Maybe investigating what they are, dispelling any myths.
I did a Willow's Pillow Talk 2 years ago about furries. But yes, it would be really nice to have like an outsider view of what furries are.
I mean, I gotta ask, are the rumors true?
Any fandom can be kinky. Let's put it to you that way. Like if you go to an anime convention, you will see some pretty scary stuff. It's not just furries. And he froze again. Nice side profile, Johnny.
I heard and every fandom can be kinky, and I was like, oh my.
It's true. Like have you ever gone to an anime convention?
Yes.
There is an adult side to
but
anime.
no, an adult side, they're all prepubescent children acting like adults and dressing like adults and being anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Not for Cryptid Crunch, not for the Treehouse. But Kelly agrees that you guys should do a furries episode of Cosplay Cafe. So
that I would totally be up for that. Just don't believe in like that CSI episode. Don't yeah. There's a wild side to every fandom. I mean,
oh my goodness.
Just look at all the fanfics.
You guys, Kelly said something very provocative regarding the rumors about furries. She said, though I'll say that a lot of cosplayers don't want to mess up their expensive costumes, so you can use your imagination there.
It costs over $1,000 for my suit, so yeah. Just throwing that out there. I don't know how much other people have spent on their suits, but
how did we go from Cthulhu to furries cosplay? How did that happen? I mean, someone needs to. I think we need to have like a biographer, like documenting the dysfunction on this show.
Yes, Eli, there was unfortunately a CSI episode. I think that was like the first or second season.
Yeah, and when we watch that, because my wife knows that, I mean, that's a big part of my business is comic conventions, anime conventions, and we watched that episode, and she was just like this the whole time, just staring a hole in me. I'm like, I don't know these people. These are not my people.
Hey, there's a side of science fiction conventions that I don't dare knock on certain doors. Let's just say.
See, I've never experienced this. I've never seen this. I hear these rumors and I'm like, really? They just know that Johnny the Boy Scout is not going to accept the invitation, so they don't even bother. That's what it is.
Yep. Oh, Lovecraft did invent body horror to an extent. Yeah. But yeah, no, it would just furries need if furries need to have a little bit more respect when it comes to their fandom, because every fandom has their adult version.
Oh my.
I will check your ID next week and then dispel these rumors. Uh-oh. I you know what? I can't wait to hear what happens at Silicon, but I mean, I'm sure there's going to be moments of, what happens there stays there, kind of like the green room.
Oh, I just froze up again.
Howard Phillips, Lovecraft, and Edgar Allan Poe were decades ahead of their time. Yes, they were. Each tortured by the madness of unbridled creative genius, yet understanding their limitations, personal addictions, and private obsessions, as well as dark fears, deep passions, surreal nightmares, and lost love. Few artists, writers, and other creative professionals have been able to harness and capture their visions as well as these two dreamers did. I love when animators and narrators are able to tap into it. Facebook user, I really would like to know who you are, but your information is very interesting. You have learned too much of us. But I love you guys. I need to know more. Furries will tell you that sometimes you do need to be afraid of furries. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, that's anybody.
Eli Cash made the connection in his next comment.
To remedy this, check out Kevin Strange's Lovecraftian furry horror book called Cotton Candy. Oh.
We have come back full circle. Eli Cash has brought this train back to the tracks.
I mean, people do dress up as Cthulhu, and Cthulhu is kind of an octopus, so furry. There are scalies in the fur community.
Wait, so there's a whole other genre, a whole other category.
There's
called scalies,
birds, reptiles. There's all there's all kinds. It's not just for you don't have to be into like the furry type creatures to be a furry.
Where do the bronies fall?
Do they dress up?
Some of
I
them
thought
do.
I was just. I would actually call that a furry.
Okay.
It's very like, yeah. I would say that, yeah, the two are very and can be very intertwined. Dan says that's a very romanticized version of Poe and Lovecraft, to be sure.
He's talking about the previous
Yeah.
comment that I was frozen and catatonic for. That was from Facebook user HP Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe were decades ahead of their time. Yes, absolutely, they were. Yeah.
Where did bronies fit in? Even I won't touch that joke. Like I said, every fandom has their dark side. So 9:00. Hey, there we go.
Ta-da!
We made it.
That went by in a heartbeat.
Well, it was fun, and sorry about all the glitches.
But you didn't have any glitches, did you? You kept going.
I kept going.
Yeah.
As far as I know, but I will put Cthulhu away, and he won't scare anybody. He won't disrupt anything in the universe anymore. You guys have a great night. Thank you for joining us on the show. Keisha, we miss you and love you. Hopefully next show will be better.